Maya Bay is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been to. It's also incredibly touristy. So is it worth visiting? In short, yes. But after this video, you'll hopefully have learned a thing or two to make your visit just a bit more enjoyable. Maya Bay is probably one of the most famous beaches in the world. It's located on a small, uninhabited island a bit off the coast of Phuket in Thailand. In 2018, Maya Bay was completely shut down as over-tourism had basically ruined the ecosystem and coral and marine life had suffered greatly. But after 3.5 years, Maya Bay reopened in 2022, but now with much greater restrictions. Boats can't sail into the bay itself, and you are only allowed to walk around in the shallow water. You can't go swim, and the bay will periodically close down to give the ecosystem some breaks. So if you are going, remember to check up when these closures actually will be. You cannot stay on the island itself where Maya Bay is located, and the only way to get here is by boat. So you will have to take some kind of boat tour to get here. Now this, along with the hordes of people coming here, is what can make the visit to Maya Bay feel very touristy. You basically get loaded off on the island, spend about an hour here, and then you're off again onto the next place.
How long should we stay here?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Most people will probably do a boat tour from Phuket, where they'll visit Maya Bay and other places in the area. And this is fine, but you will be going with most people. So if you have the time, here is what I recommend doing instead. While you can't stay on the island where Maya Bay is, you can stay on the neighboring island, Koh Phi Phi Don. It also happens that this is an amazing island and very much worth experiencing. So I'd recommend going to this island and spend a few nights here and take your trip to Maya Bay from this island. While Koh Phi Phi Don is an amazingly beautiful island with gorgeous beaches, an amazing backdrop of the huge cliffs, and with many fantastic activities to do, it's also very much a party island. Unfortunately, I'm no longer a young backpacker, so I'm not usually looking to be in the party hotspots. So if you're a bit like me and really like to sleep quietly, look for some accommodation a bit away from the center of the island. Maya Bay is just a short boat ride away, but we will book one of these long-tail boats here for tomorrow morning, and today we'll just enjoy the island a bit. A ride on one of these long-tail boats to Maya Bay will cost you around 600 baht per person, and on top of that you'll then have to pay the 400 baht entrance fee to Maya Bay. Depending on which tour you choose to do with the boat, you'll most likely also visit a couple of other places after you have visited Maya Bay. We opted for renting a long-tail boat all for ourselves so that we could decide the exact time we left, and so we could avoid these really group tour vibes of, hey, we have to meet back here at exactly 9:35. I guess in general we're not big fans of group tours, and when we can avoid it, we try to do that. If I remember correctly, we paid just around 2,500 baht for this, and while more expensive than just going on a boat with a couple other people, this is worth it to us. We opted to leave early in the morning so that we could arrive in Maya Bay well before all the big boats coming from Phuket. We left at around 6:30 a.m. Another option would be to go for sunset, as by then most of the big tour boats have left again. The short boat ride is beautiful, and as one of the new measures after the closure of Maya Bay, it's that you now arrive on this jetty here on the opposite side of the island. So you get off here, pay the entrance fee, and then you walk towards the beach. It really is beautiful here. Now, one of the negatives perhaps of going this early in the morning is that the sun won't have risen above the cliffs yet, and the bay just looks even more beautiful in the sunlight. When we visited, the sun started to rise above the cliffs at around 8 a.m. and it just made the whole vista even more spectacular. After spending about an hour or so here, it's back to the boat. We have one more stop before our tour ends. As I mentioned, you can visit other places depending on which tour option you choose, and you can visit places like Monkey Beach, but we had already kayaked there the day before where we almost got our bag stolen. Right, next stop is Pile Lagoon. Usually this spot is filled with boats, but that early morning start is really paying off again, and we're just sharing this stunning place with a few other boats. We now head back to Koh Phi Phi Don to enjoy a few more days in this paradise. Beyond the trip to Maya Bay, our favorite thing we did here was that kayaking trip I just mentioned. We rented a kayak for the day and set course for Monkey Beach.
First hour 200 and second hour 100.
And then 100.
As we learned, the monkeys are very interested in getting a hold of your things, so park your kayak in the water. Now, my theory is that these monkeys have learned that if they grab a bag or a purse or whatever, the locals who are here and look after the beach will give them some food, and then they'll give the bag back. It's pretty clever. But even though the monkeys are very curious and often don't mind being close to you, please be respectful and keep your distance. Just after having packed my camera away, I saw a guy get up real close to a group of the monkeys to take a selfie. One of the monkeys then grabbed his sunglasses, and this guy just wasn't having it and basically started going after the monkey to grab back his sunglasses. All of the monkeys ended up jumping him and attacking him. At one point he had like 5 monkeys on top of him, biting and scratching. When he finally got away, he was really bleeding a lot. So keep your stuff close and be really respectful, and don't take stupid selfies with the monkeys. After that horror show, we went snorkeling for a while in the crystal clear water here.
With a style and fashion, el ritmo del flamenco is heard to Japan. Embalaje de la flauta en banana for fun. Es una vida loca, chasing the sun.
Before we started kayaking towards our next destination, Nui Beach. So this beach you can only access by water. So when we arrived here, it was just us and a few other people who had kayaked here. Really a fantastic experience. Visiting Maya Bay was definitely a big highlight from our trip to Thailand, but including Koh Phi Phi Don, as well as the time and the way we visited Maya Bay, made it all even more special. We also spent several months traveling around in Bali, and you can watch this video right here to see 30 incredible places in Bali that you just shouldn't miss. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.